So hello freaking YouTube, in this freaking video we are going to continue this writing journey to the stars. You know we are writing the Truth Detective book and we made this challenge of doing this in 20 hours time, and you know the main point of this video is for me to practice my English freaking skills if we want to write something else than this freaking story. Then we have all the freaking freedom to go in any direction. You know, now we are gonna continue this dialogue we started in the last hour. And I'm working in these 1 hour increments, you know. Let's start the timer over here. So now we got disconnected. Wow, what is this? What is this stuff? No, now we are online again. So really, the Truth Detective asked of the lady. Yeah, he was kind of like really stressed. I could see it from him. So I wonder if he might have even committed suicide. The lady says. That's an option. Possible. Says, but he can't really get away with how the girl is. Lady is looking at him. Truth Detective knows that look. Because he's such a freaking handsome man. Yeah. Get freaking noticed. Get away. Yeah. Thanks for telling me this. Truth Detective says, and they separate and they continue walking their own way. Okay, there's the scene with the lady. Now we just are again thinking about characters. So we have two characters. The one is red and the other one is purple. The one is red and the other one is purple, and now we go with the blue and even some yellow. Let's take this off. So now we have to like think about the story in another way. That's actually what's been happening in the city lately. A lot of people have just mysteriously disappeared, and that was the reason the detective got this case. Yeah. Okay, let's just continue on in like a linear in linear way, and we could say that when we only have Truth Detective like alone, it's gonna be black, and when we have characters, we're gonna color code them like that. That rhymed, you know. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny, yeah, pretty funny. So we could say that we could like continue this Truth Detective. Next walks the street of New York. You know, I'm gonna say this to you that um, this story. I have never been to New York. You know, I have never been to United States either. But I would. And by the way, if you don't know, I'm actually Finnish. It's pretty funny actually. So uh, I'm feeling that this story is going to happening in the New Yorks. You know, in the past, well, people still had like freaking style, and there weren't all these like smartphones and all of this like freaking billboard crap advertising all kinds of like sugar products to everybody. But you know, this happened in the like the real era. You know, Truth Detective next walks the street of New York, and he's going to the subway system. He walks down the stairs to the subway and sits at a chair and looks at the clock on the is it if you are talking about subway systems, is it called a terminal? No, it's the like the thing where you like wait and you know you get off the train on the what's the word called? What's the word for that? He got off the train and stepped on the. Is it terminal? No, it's station. Yeah, subway station. Yeah, it's station. You know, looks at the clock on the subway stations. Subway station clock. So it's kind of like that I have like I can like do is it like 5,000 words in the description. So I'm gonna like copy paste a lot of stuff in the description from this file in every hour, so you can kind of like look over it. It's not gonna be your like perfect kind of like publishable stuff, you know, in there, but you know, when I write like this, I'm more focused on just getting the story like right. This is like the first draft type of stuff, and then if I really want to write like good, you know, I would like do it in a completely other way. I wouldn't use this tool at all. I would write with the like fountain pen and then type the stuff like slowly and thoughtfully, you know. Walk down the stairs to the subway. Yeah, and sits at the chair and looks at the subway station clock. It's still for. It's still 5 more minutes. Still 5 more minutes. Until the train arrives, and there's a couple of street musician artists playing some kind of jazz song. in the subway station. I wonder if we could put get the song like what we wrote like yesterday. You know the song, the Getaway song. If you want to hear the Getaway song, just go and check it out on the YouTubes by me. You know it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. You know. I think it's pretty good. You know it has like the lyrics and the breathing patterns in the lyrics are actually like kind of like they have some freaking genius in them, that's for sure. But you know, I wonder if we could put over here in this story some of the like some of the stuff, you know, we wrote. But you know, I wonder if we could touch on that. But you know, then from the then from the they weren't escalators, you know, but the then a gentleman sits on a chair on his left side and just opens a conversation. And the gentleman is the color of this color. You know, it was pretty wild. I saw like a girl one day that had like about this color, you know, like hair. Like dyed. It was kind of like, it was probably this color. It's a pretty wild world out there. Let's try the color, you know. It's too like, it's too blue. How about you went with something like this? That's better. It's a pretty wild world out there. A lot of change going on. Have you looked at the stock market lately? The gentleman asks. The gentleman asks and glances at the subway station clock. Why did the color change over here? Is it this one? Oh no, I don't have any stocks or shares. Truth Detective says. Are those even the same? Why is it changing always to the black back to that color? How about this one? No, not like that. Well, whatever. It's kind of blue. It's kind of blue. Really? Why is that? You look like a money man. Oh, it's just that I don't want to worry about those things. I only invest in gold, Truth Detective says to the gentleman. Really? Like the Jews? I actually have a Jewish background. Yeah, it's more stable. I'm not really interested in getting into roller coasters like that. Slow and steady. Yeah, the gentleman asks. Exactly. Truth Detective says. And at that moment, the subway car rolls around. Train arrives at the station and both go inside the train. New York, it's just like this. There are these small weights you have to go through. In your day. I'm feeling that this hour is a bit different, you know. So you see that we have over here like 3 dialogues. This one is a bit like important. This one also. Because we're kind of like wanting to take these characters somewhere. But you know, this guy, it might be, you know. There are these small weights you have to go through in your day. And you end up having conversation exactly like this. And when Truth Detective and the man end up talking a bit more in the train, and the man gives him a business card that says that the man is actually a financial planner, or like consultant and a stockbroker. You know, that's one question I have for you. Like, what's the amount of like? At what point should like at what point should you like get like like get into the stock market, in the sense that if you have a like a business you really want, like, believe in. I feel that for me, you know, if I would like, for me, I would like, if I had, if I would like get into the stock market in any way, I would do it like that. That I would have, I would have to get shares from a company that I believe in any way. You know, I wouldn't like get into the sense that I'm not really interested in these companies what they do. I'm only interested if they will strive or not. You know, kind of like that. The man is actually a financial consultant and a stockbroker. The case Truth Detective is working on is just too important at this moment. But after the case has been solved, Truth Detective will meet this gentleman again. So yeah, that's really boring, you know. How about we... It's still 5 more minutes until the train arrives, and there's a couple of street musicians and artists playing to some kind of jazz song in the background. The singer is going really wild, singing a song that Truth Detective has never heard before. Yeah, we could use the lyrics. We could use the lyrics we wrote. Or should we? Now let's go over here. No, actually. When Truth Detective gets out of the subway system, he goes back home and sits on the couch for a while. And thinks about how his life is divided into these moments of excitement and pondering when he has a case, but when there's nothing to solve, he starts to feel that his life is completely empty. he doesn't have many possessions in his home. But lately he has been getting into poetry. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. You know, that's pretty funny and rad. That's pretty funny and rad. You know, Fred freaking that. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So, you know, that's really interesting. There are these small weights, you know. He has this small book about poetry, about 80 pages, lying on a coffee table, small coffee table in front of the couch. Truth Detective picks the book up and reads one of the poems. It talks about life as a river in a completely too complex way for Truth Detective to understand in this moment. I've just been like thinking about this year. Like I'm just like now thinking about this year and how much freaking words I have like put to like, you know, to like the file, or like how much freaking words I have freaking written. And like that I'm really like struggling to like explain this to you, but I feel that it's kind of like hard to like understand the progress. Like for example, in the, like just few words ago, I was just thinking that is what I'm writing really any better than what I was writing like in the summertime. I had really like a strong like role like going on in the summertime, you know. With I was writing with this program, and then I like kind of like changed my way to write. You know, I started writing by like in a notebook, and out of that like came so much like good stuff, you know, but and good like changes in my life. I'm not really interested in being this, you know, only being this guy that like sits on the computer like writing stuff all day, you know. Like I have these like seasons when I do this kind of thing, but you know, I feel that there has to be something more in the life. And that's the exact like problem with also Truth Detective. Truth Detective almost only has his like work going for him. So Truth Detective is kind of like trying to find something like Truth Detective is through this reading and trying to find a new depth to his life. I have to say that in the last month, the last months I've been reading much less than I like used to. That I feel that also goes in the seasons, you know. Like last year in this like time, you know, I read I must have read like at least one book a freaking day, you know. It was insane how much I freaking read like this time because I couldn't really do anything else. I was pretty freaking sick, you know. Like not sick, but you know, I was like I had this like muscle and joint injury like in my hands and in my like legs, so I couldn't like walk properly, and there was so much freaking pain, so I just freaking read. Like I read so many freaking books and hard stuff, you know, like hard stuff. But I feel that life has to like have these, you know, as I thought, like as I said, like seasons. So but when Truth Detective starts to solve a case like this, he always forgets that he should expand his life a bit. Okay, so I'm freaking stuck with this one, you know. Okay, let's say that this next morning Truth Detective gets up from his couch. He doesn't even have a bed to sleep in. That's actually true about me at this moment. I don't even have a bed, you know, that I sleep in. I have this like freaking back problems, you know, and I've been having so freaking hard time like find a proper like surface to freaking sleep on, you know. So I've been just sleeping on the freaking couch, you know. It works pretty good, you know, actually. Next morning, Truth Detective gets up from his couch. He doesn't even have a bed to sleep in. He walks down the street. He eats and walks down the stairs to the ground level, and now he goes in his car, a black old American car, and drives away, and the whole time keeps thinking about the case of disappearing people who all had loan on them. Something like that. And then we have to have to like to invent an explanation. We have to invent an explanation over here. In the past, and that's actually what has been happening in the city lately. A lot of people have just mysteriously. That's a pretty funny way to say the word. Mysteriously. Mysteriously. Mr. Really Mr. Really Sly. Mr. Lee Sly. Mr. Real Sly. That sounds like something grilled, you know. Okay. So we have to invent an explanation. Why are these people like disappearing? Why are these people disappearing if we have to know this as the writer? These kind of mystery type things are pretty funny to write because you are kind of like figuring it out yourself also. You don't know either. So they are kind of like they are kind of hard to write, but they are kind of funny to write at the same time. Okay. Disappearing people. Then he almost runs over a pedestrian. But at just the moment that his car is about to hit the man on the street, okay, let's write it in another way. He drives his car in the street, and all of a sudden, from an alley and behind a parked car, runs this man just in front of his car, and he has no way to press at the brakes. But at just the moment his car is about to hit the man that ran in front of the street, the pedestrian disappears like he didn't even exist at all. So now we get something like a supernatural element to this story. We're trying to create some interest over here. Still, Truth Detective breaks with his car. I feel that I'm not really like this kind of guy that you know. I really like science fiction the most. You know, I really like science fiction the most. But I also kind of like yeah, like I really like science fiction maybe the most. But you know, at the same time, I kind of like yeah yeah. How can I say this? At the same time, you know, I see some value in this, like kind of like olden age, you know, um, in a sense that, like, I'm not really as an individual, you know, I'm not really like that into like technology and the thought that, like, you know, for example, like this kind of things that, like cars, and that's like pretty old already, but all these like train systems and this like this like way of transportation people, and all this automation stuff, and it's all kinds of like, it's kind of not that interesting, in really like this all this robotics, and all of that stuff. But I want to like still like create a story that has something out of the norm in it. And until this point, this has been just your run of the mill, detective story. But now we have a mystery, and we could lead that mystery into something supernatural, or even to something like science fiction type stuff. Truth Detective breaks with his car, and the other cars behind start honking their horns. Where did the man go? Truth Detective thinks, and tries to look for him. And at that moment, the man that he almost ran over, that disappeared, is sitting on his right side in the car with him. Man, that's freaking good. Yeah. Wow. That's good. Imagine this as a movie, or like something visual, with the freaking Truth Detective drives his car and almost runs over this man. And then the freaking man, and then the freaking man, ends up on the right side of his like car, sitting in his car. Truth Detective almost get a heart attack. Because he's so startled. Why is that? Who are you, and how you got in here? Truth Detective says. Okay, we have something going on right now. Now we are gonna do the color coding again. We're gonna invent a new character over here. We have already used the blue and the violet, and we could now go with let's go with the bright green. That's pretty obnoxious, maybe. Oh, that looks good. We don't have the green one yet. Yeah, the green. Green. Who are you and how you got in here? Truth Detective says. Don't be so jumpy. Okay. This color, we have, it was like, so jumpy. The man says. I just need to tell you something. Fast. The man says. What do you mean? True detective says, and starts the car again and drives in midst of the traffic of New York morning. Do you know what? Do you want to know about the time, that what the time is right now? It's like like half, like it's almost 1 a.m. like how do you say it in English? 20 past 12 a.m. or something, like, who freaking cares even, but that clock is wrong, but it's like freaking pitch black outside, like right now. I kind of like, when I'm writing at home like this, I kind of like writing more in the daytime maybe, but at the same time, I remember I did this stuff in the summertime and in the like late fall. I did this like almost 100 hours of writing this stuff, sitting over here with this microphone and this stuff, and it was so intense. It was so like, I was so freaking focused, and it's kind of like that for me. If I write like this, I can't do almost anything else during the day. It's like all of freaking nothing for me in many ways. I really, when I like work on like writing, for example, I really like to do like 5 hours in a day. I really don't think that you can make much progress in like an hour or like 2 hours. I've been really having like problems like in the winter season. I couldn't like work like so much. I focused on other things, because of that. And I feel that about like your life, that if you kind of are like, if you kind of like can't get something like progressing, then try to put your effort into something else. Don't just waste your time. That's what I mean. So what do you mean as that's kind of, I mean drive fast. The guy says, and puts his hands in the air, and in the air forms another steering wheel, and the guy that was almost ran over pulls at the steering wheel back, and Truth Detective's car starts to gets off. How can you say it? Like tires take off from the street and the car flies. Freaking flies, you know. Flying cars, you know, well, that has been done before, but you know. What the heck is this? TruthDetective says. When the steering wheel starts to spin on its own in his hands and he has to let go of it. Just trust me, I will handle this. The dude. It could be like this funny thing, you know, that it could be this funny thing that you know, TruthDetective style is this like really old school stuff. And this guy that runs over the street, that runs on the street, you know, he's more like modern, you know. I was like, I'm gonna say this to you that I was like looking, like lately I've been like buying a lot of new clothes, you know, pretty expensive stuff, and I've been like looking at like clothes a lot and trying to understand the possibilities of like this whole stuff. And I saw this one shirt that had this like design on it, that it was freaking expensive, you know, also. But you know, there was this like also almost a freaking story in the shirt. And the freaking getaway song I wrote, I invented the freaking lyrics out of that freaking graphic in the shirt. And it was kind of like it had that kind of like Miami vibe in it, you know. And the vibe of the like the gangsters, you know. And I was just starting to think that I could like maybe like form these like I want to form like three type of like, if I had all the freaking money in the world, I would like form this like three type of like styles for myself. The first one would be like this the really old school type of like the gentleman look, really old school, but at the same time really like practical, and that kind of, you know, with the fedoras, and you know. And the other one would be like the 80s type of look with the like the Miami type of look, you know, for probably for the summer, you know. The gentleman look would probably be more for the winter time. And then the third one would be like this, I don't like the rap look, you know. I don't like those really baggy stuff, that kind of look. I don't really like that. But something really like pretty flamboyant, colorful, more modern maybe. Uh, and I'm trying to like figure out, like, you know, here we have this look I'm going for right now. It's really, it's more into the past, you know. I never buy anything like used stuff, but you know, it's more into the past. And the dude, just trust me, I will handle this, the dude says. And the I will show you where those hidden people who disappeared went. The dude says. Man, this story is just starting to freaking. The story is starting to freaking fly, you know. And this color coding thing is really interesting, you know. How you can like. I want to write it like this, you know. I'm gonna create this rule over here that every time TruthDetective is alone, we are gonna write it with black, and when TruthDetective is with some other character, and he's with the character, or there's something happening with the character, we're gonna write it with green. We're gonna write it with the colors. And now we have 4 different characters over here. The dude says they fly over what the fuck. That kind of stuff, it happens sometimes, you know. The streets of New York and are careful to not hit the skyscrapers. They fly higher, and in one of the skyscrapers that is still being built, the construction workers almost fall off their what are those things that when you like build like buildings and you have those like construction supports leaning, hanging on the side of the skyscrapers when they fly past the skyscrapers with the Truth Detective's car. Okay, we are on to freaking something. Now we have imagination. This is what I want. This is really what I'm going for, you know. This sequence we are gonna make a little bit like longer, because I feel that this character might be a bit more important than, for example, like this one over here. Let's check the time. Yeah, we are like on the yeah. But you know, actually, I don't really know. Like I'm gonna talk a little bit about my like tools over here that we are writing with in the like this last minutes. You know, I'm using this microphone. You know, the Tula microphone. Really excellent microphone for just this use. You could use some high quality, you know, USB microphone. Also, this is a USB microphone. You could use some like high quality one, but this is a really nice one for this use case. And I'm recording with the simple screen recorder, and then I'm using this Google Docs thing, and well yeah, you know, I have this monitor nowadays, you know, 1440p and like 256 like 2056 times 1440p monitor, you know. It's really good like a monitor for writing, because you can get a lot of text over here. You can do one page like with this type of scaling. I don't really know, like 4K monitors, they are like probably just as freaking good, you know, but you know, it's kind of nice to have this resolution, because when you record it, this whole process like this, that's what I recommend you to do. and I'm running like Fedora Linux, by the way. Over here I'm running Fedora 37. Over here we have the TruthDetective background over here, and my like objective over here is that I want to write this book as a kind of like my first thing that is gonna nail down the point that I've been doing this truth detective thing for like now years, and there has been so much related to it, and I want to at the same time like tell the world about my like other endeavors, and this book is at the same time kind of like a marketing type of thing for everything else I do. And like it will be really interesting, if I get this like written really. But that's the hour. Thanks for watching.